So, this is the first chapter in a series of talks where we'll discuss how algorithms impact our lives, our culture, and our relationships, and our society. Today, we'll address what the attention economy is. I define it like this. As the internet has become more embedded into our lives, capital is no longer primarily sustained by labor, but by attention. This is the attention economy. Humans do not generate profits because of what we do, but because of what we look at. And there's a few things to notice here. The most valuable and powerful companies in the world deliver digital platforms and digital infrastructure. The companies profit from data about our identities. The attention economy is based on some degree of surveillance. The core mission of digital platforms is to create dependency and addiction. Also, digital platforms are dopamine providers. This is a list of the 10 most valuable companies in the world. 9 out of these 10 companies are either directly or indirectly involved in the attention economy. NVIDIA, number one, delivers the computer infrastructure for the AI revolution. Apple delivers consumer hardware and software. Google is well known for search, and it's also the owner of YouTube. Microsoft is well known for its operating system, Windows, and it's also the owner of LinkedIn. Amazon is famous for its e-commerce, and it's the owner of the streaming platform Twitch. Aramco is an oil company, so that's the only company which is not related to the attention economy here. TSMC is the world-leading provider of semiconductors. Broadcom is also a semiconductor company. Meta is, of course, the owner of Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp. Tesla is, of course, well known for providing autonomous vehicle and AI systems for those vehicles. And of course, Elon Musk, which owns it, also owns xAI, the social media network X, as well as Starlink. We can say that there are certain companies which delivers the infrastructure for the attention economy, such as NVIDIA, and there are certain companies which delivers online platforms such as LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. In this presentation, we will mainly focus on the platforms. So what are the digital platforms? You all know them. They're streaming platforms such as Netflix, Spotify, and YouTube. Social media platforms, which I'm sure you all know and perhaps even use. Dating apps such as Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge. And chatbots and AI agents such as ChatGPT, Claude, and so on. So this is what I consider digital platforms. Digital platforms primarily earn revenue through user data in some way and often from advertisement. To get more data from users, the platforms need the users to spend as much time on their platforms as possible. The company's metric for success is the engagement time. The ultimate business goal, which I will get to in a minute, is to create dependency and addiction. The more time we spend on the platforms, the more powerful and profitable they become. So when I say that the attention business model is based on dependency, this means that Netflix tells us which movies and shows to watch. Facebook connects us with our families and friends. Dating apps decide who we should meet and date, whereas ChatGPT informs us about the world and help us to work more efficiently. So, for instance, on Netflix, there are certain movies you can only watch there. So you need to have a Netflix subscription to watch them. It gets that much more difficult to connect with your friends and family if you're not on Facebook. That's just the reality. If you're single and you're not on dating apps, it's very hard to meet a partner or even find a date. ChatGPT, we're increasingly more dependent on AI tools for our work and our everyday lives. So So the statement that some people are saying that those who don't use AI now will be left behind are probably correct. So what this means is we are building increasingly a dependence on AI tools. I also said that the attention economy is based on addiction. Digital platforms are a form of dopamine providers. Here is a screen dump from a blog post by YouTube where they celebrate that YouTube Shorts have now averaged over 200 billion daily views. So imagine how much time people are spending on the Shorts part of the platform. This is the best study to illustrate how addiction is a part of the attention economy. It's a study carried out by a company called Fluid Focus, where they surveyed a bunch of students from different institutions in the UK and different age groups as well, from small kids to university students. I included this quote because I just think it's great. The defining challenge for this generation is mastering their attention. Those who learn to master it will thrive. Those who don't will be consumed by the digital world. That is spot on. And it's a quote by Paul Redmond, which was in some way involved in the study, I suppose. What the study shows is that the students on average spend 5 hours and 30 minutes daily on their phones. That corresponds to around 25 years of their lives. And you can see at the end of the curve of the curve here, the last 10% of the students who answered the survey spent more than 9 hours of their every day on their smartphones. And that means that if this trajectory hold, they would have spent more than 41 years of their lives scrolling on their phones. And this just signifies how dependent digital platforms are, because we are primarily using our smartphones for social media, streaming, and messaging apps. This statistics is also from the study by Fluid Focus, and we can clearly see that the students are not using their smartphones on educational purposes, at least to a very small degree. Another very interesting finding from the study is that less than 1 in 25 students can study for an hour without picking up their phone. And roughly 40% of the students check their phone either constantly or every 5 to 10 minutes. So they are constantly online, and that just speaks to how addictive the attention economy is once more. A question, so how exactly are companies earning money on our data and the attention economy? And the answer is that this is actually a wrong way to look at the question. Um, I see it like this. In the attention economy, money is not the currency, data is, and users pay each time they click, scroll, browse, search, or otherwise interact with a platform. So money is not the point here in the attention economy. One way that the companies practically earn money is through targeted advertisements. This means that they are showing ads to users based on profiling. Profiling is a collection of digital breadcrumbs, so to speak, which we are all leaving behind on the platforms. This could even be something like our location data or information about our device, and of course, of all the interactions we make with the platforms like, comments, follows, clicks, scrolls, whatever. Also, the platforms collect data about us via third-party cookies. So information travel about us from sites across the internet through cookies. And this all this data collection is used to create an accurate impression of who you are as a person and what you might be interested in. And that will give the company a good foundation for showing you highly relevant ads. This is also known as surveillance capitalism. Meta earns 97 to 98% of its revenue from targeted advertisement. For Google, it's a little less, but it's still between 74 and 80%. So you might ask, what about platforms with a commission or subscription-based revenue model? And I would say that the ability to collect and analyze data gives companies a competitive edge, which makes them the go-to platforms. So simply, people prefer to spend time and money on those platforms that provides them with the best experience. Data collection and analysis enables the platform to tailor their services to individual users' taste. That makes sense, I think. And Netflix, for instance, invests in new movies and shows based on the data they collect about users. And they also make recommendations so people can spend more time on the platform. Amazon and Substack earns a significant portion of their revenue from making good recommendations to users about what they should buy, and that is again based on their data. So, what can we conclude from this very brief presentation? The currency and the attention economy is data. The ultimate goal is to create dependency and addiction. And they do that to gain market dominance and increase the rate of user engagement on the platforms. Digital platforms are highly addictive by design, and the attention economy dominates financial markets as well as people's daily lives.